What are you afraid of? What is it that you think is standing in your way to deprive you of your potential greatness? I welcome you to this episode about fear under our special Unlocking Your Concealed Powers to Prosper. This is episode 11 and I'm your productivity consultant, author and life coach, Andrew Saz. Talking about fear, everything you ever liked lives on the other side of fear. The greatest problem of human life is fear. Fear robs us of happiness. It causes us to settle for far less than what we are capable of. It is the root cause of negative emotions, unhappiness, and problems in human relationships. The only good thing about fear, if there is any, is that it is learned, and because of this, it can be unlearned. Have you ever seen a fearful baby? Now, the fear of failure and the fear of rejection are learned responses programmed into you before the age of, let's say, 6 or 7. These fears usually set the upper and lower limits of your comfort zone, as you've seen in the previous episode. Because of them, you do enough not to be criticized or rejected on the low side, and you stay well within your limits so you can avoid the risk of failure on the high side. Once you've slipped into your comfort zone, you stay there, attempting to avoid any feeling of fear or anxiety. Your fears hold you back from most of what is possible for you. You begin the process of raising your self-esteem and overriding your fears by repeating such powerful words like, I like myself, I believe in myself, I can do it, over and over. Now start off each day by repeating such phrases. I like myself, I can do it, I can get there. You can do this 50, 70 or even 100 times until the words penetrate your subconscious mind. You will soon see and feel the difference in your self-confidence, your competence and your relationships with others. You will start to feel wonderful about yourself. Now, talking about fear is just an acronym which states false evidence appearing to be real. These are just sentences or phrases or illusions that get in your mind pretending to be real but they're actually false. Think of that moment when you went for your first interview, the moment you went for your first maybe recording, your first song, or even your first date. You are a little bit nervous, you are afraid of a few things, but after you overcame or you went through that whole moment, when you look back, actually the things that you are afraid of, they're never true, they're never real. So fear is just an acronym for false evidence that appears real. Now here's the key point. There are only two main categories of emotions, and that is desire and fear. Most of what you do or don't do is determined by one or the other. And the things that you do or refrain from doing because of fear, they greatly outweigh the number of things that you do because of desire. Now, most people are immobilized by fears of all kinds. They fear poverty, they fear loss, they fear criticism or disapproval, they fear ill health, they fear being taken advantage of, and above all, they fear failure and they fear rejection to the point where they are willing to lead lives in a quiet desperation rather than to risk having any of their fears realized. Most of the population lives this way most of their lives. And I have different episodes, it's not on this particular program, about fear and how to handle fear and how to handle rejections. It's not on this program, but if you want me to come and talk about this particular episode about failure and rejection, then I'll give you the address on how to reach out to me at the end of this episode. Now, let's again talk about fear and how you can overcome it. And I'll do this by giving you a mental law, the law of persistence, which says that your ability to persist in the face of setbacks and disappointments is your measure of your beliefs in yourself and the ability to succeed. Everything you ever liked lives on the other side of fear. So you have to put both of your legs and swim, get to what you want, which is on the other side. A story is told of a man who had a very beautiful daughter, and when his daughter was ready for marriage, the man sent news around town that all the eligible men should come to compete in a test which would determine who was fit to marry his daughter. One day, all was set and all the able-bodied young men came out. Some came with paper, biro, and others with outclasses and swords. This rich man took them to his swimming pool and told them, "Any of you who can swim from one end of the swimming pool to the other would marry my daughter. And in addition, I'll give him 50 million shillings, a car and a house so they can start life well." And he said, "I shall be waiting to meet my son-in-law at the other end." Said, "Good luck." As these young men, all very excited at the prospect of winning, as they started taking off their shirts, a helicopter came over the pool and dropped alligators and crocodiles into the pool. Immediately, all these men turned back and started wearing their shirts again. They were disappointed. Some of them said that, "That's crazy. Let's see who would marry that girl anyway." And no one will. All of a sudden, they heard a splash in the pool, and boom! Everybody watched in amazement as one gentleman was waddling across, expertly avoiding the alligators and crocodiles. Finally, he made it to the other side. The rich man couldn't believe it, and he asked this young man to name anything that he wanted, but the man was still panting uncontrollably. Finally, he got back to his senses and made a request saying, "Show me the man who pushed me inside this pool." So the moral of the story is, you don't know what you are capable of until you are pushed, right? Until you are pushed, you may not know what greatness that is in you. Meanwhile, in the story, the crocodiles were just rubber crocodiles and rubber alligators. The second moral of the story is that those seeking to push you into the jaws of alligators and crocodiles may have helped you to reach your promised land. So don't fear the push. Sometimes it takes going through the bad moments to bring out the best in us. Trials are raw materials for triumphant testimonies. The push might take different dimensions. Some people need to be sacked, need to be fired from their jobs before realizing their potential and reaching their goals in life. So I hope this motivational talk will make an inspired push in your life. Accept the push to go for the fulfillment of your full potential. Thank you for listening in this particular episode about fear. I hope you're going to drop all the fears that you have in your head, because they're actually not true, they don't exist, and go heads on, full throttle to achieve what you want in life. Thank you for listening in this episode. I've been your productivity consultant, author, and life coach, Andrew Saz. If you want me to get to your organization, your company, your team, your group of people, don't hesitate. Just write to me, andrewsaz@gmail.com. Saz goes with SSAZI. It's also easier if you drop me a WhatsApp message on 0779 132 688. I'll be sure to follow up with you and give you a response. And again, kindly follow me across all social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Saz Andrew. Thank you. Goodbye for now.